Welcome everyone exploring the shadow self even further. Within the last video, I was describing the shadow self almost comparable to a costume which we are putting on. But the tricky thing is we cannot just put it off. It's not something we can remove so easily just by wanting to remove it, because it's very much enmeshed with ourself. And it's colored by our upbringing, it's colored by our experiences, it's colored by everything that is coming from the past somewhen. And since I would define the shadow self really as the wounded self, it's all the unresolved issues, everything that we are not seeing. And it's like a shadow. You are not really very aware of your own shadow when you are walking. You're not focusing on your own shadow, but it's there. The good thing, nevertheless, with the shadow self, you can shine the light onto it and you can partially dissolve it bit by bit. And this means the shadow is getting smaller and yourself has more and more space. You are more and more looking through your own self, or the lens of your own self. So the question now, how do you define these two? The quick answer is the self is everything that the shadow self is not. It's already good if you have clarity between those two. So, for example, if you know how to perceive the world through the self, you are very aware that it's a very present experience. You are fully incorporating yourself, and everything actually is also filtered through your own heart. And I would define it the refined heart, the healed heart. And from that stance, you're going to notice that everything surrounding you is multi-layered, and everything that is entering your field can be resolved or can be dealt with or met with in many different responses. So within this present state of the self, you realize that there are so many ways of how to perceive this world and what to focus on and what to become aware of. So if you are coming from the shadow self instead, it's very often a very limited view, and very often you only notice that there is one path of possibility. And that is the familiar one. And we're going to act in that same old way over and over again. And we're going to react in the same emotional response over and over again. Yet every emotional response, except those when there is really something traumatic happening, where it's absolutely justified, but every response inside us, emotional response, also makes us carry a part that can't be resolved on our side. This is the good thing. If you really focus on your part of the story, if you really focus on what does my emotional response actually mean, like what is the underlying thing that caused me to feel in that way, you're going to notice, okay, they're going to come up maybe some experiences from the past where you were hurt and where you were not feeling seen or acknowledged the way you would have deserved it. And from healing these past wounds, you're going to notice maybe in the next time when you experience a similar pattern, this emotional response is not as strong as it was before, or is gone completely. And from that place of not having these automated responses inside, this is when you notice that there are these varieties, these wide varieties of options available to you, where you are now crafting this path on your own and creating it. And you notice, okay, maybe I could do this or that, and this would enhance my focus into that direction. So seeing the shadow self as part that is really needing attention, that is needing healing, helps you to recognize that you are not bound to it. You have the power in your hand. You have the power of choosing your own healing. And if you choose that path, I honestly and sincerely believe that if we all choose to heal our trauma, if we all choose to heal our wounds and incorporate the self and become very present within the self and looking through our own refined heart, that this world would definitely not be in such a dire state as it is right now. Of course, there are some kind of other energies at work, and we really need to see them. We really need to get aware of them. Yet, if we're doing our job, if everyone is doing this job of looking at the shadow self and seeing it with compassion, because very often when you think about our shadows, we reject it. We don't want it. We don't like it. But that's the opposite of what it actually needs. We actually need to hold it. We need to reparent it. We need to soothe it and comfort it. And that is allowing the healing to happen. So I'm curious to hear what you have to say in regards to that. I'm curious to hear your insights and let me know what you would like me to talk further. So hopefully it was helpful. Take good care and goodbye for now.